Hello, Mrs. Scott. This is Emily Michaels. We've never met, but my husband and I were in Oakdale the other day, and we saw your lovely house.
I'm sorry, what did you say your name was again?
It's Michaels, Emily Michaels. I just spoke with your broker, Mrs. Peabody, and she said that you had some people who were interested in the house, but that maybe you hadn't made up your mind yet?
Well, as a matter of fact, no, I haven't.
Well, it's just such a beautiful house. My husband and I just fell in love with it as soon as we saw it. We're newlyweds, you see, or at least we've only been together for a short time. And we thought, well, there isn't a house in the world we'd rather be together in than that house. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not making very good sense.
Oh, no, Mrs. Michaels, you're making perfectly good sense. Look, do you think you could come over here and talk to me? We could talk about it?
Do you really mean that?
Of course. You're right, Mrs. Peabody does have someone who's interested in the house, but they're an older couple, and they don't plan on living in the house full time. I guess they just want to use it for weekends.
I see.
And, well, I shouldn't pass judgments. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that, well, the house meant a lot to me and to my husband. It's the first home we ever had.
My husband and I have never owned a home of our own.
Well, believe me, you couldn't find a better place to start.
You know, Kirk was literally drawn to the place.
Oh, I can believe that.
There is one problem, though, and I want to be perfectly honest with you. Mrs. Peabody said that she has some people who are willing to pay cash immediately, and I just don't think we can move that quickly.
Well, I don't think we should worry about that right now. Why don't you and your husband come over here? Do you have a pencil? I'll give you the address.
Yeah, just a second. Okay.
123 River Shore Drive. It's a big, huge apartment building, about 30 stories high. I don't think you'll miss it.
Oh, I'm sure I won't.
And, I'm in the penthouse. My name is Scott, April Scott. I'm looking forward to meeting you, Mrs. Michaels. You and your husband.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mrs. Scott. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Here we are. I don't know if they're any good, but they're hot.
Kirk, come in and sit down. I've got some great news to
What?
tell you. I just talked to a woman named Mrs. Scott, and she wants to see us about the house.
Is that why you wanted me to go get the hamburger, so you could call the real estate lady?
No, that's not true. But I did call her. I just wanted to see if the house had been sold yet.
And?
Well, actually, they do have a buyer, and they're ready to pay the whole asking price.
Then the whole point is settled, right?
No, Kirk, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Do you remember Mrs. Peabody telling us about the owner? That she had recently lost her husband and that she was really sentimental about the house?
Nobody is sentimental enough to give a house away.
No, I didn't say that. It's just that she seems to be reluctant to sell it to these people at any price. You see, they're an older couple, and they only want to use the house as a weekend place. They don't want to live in it full time like she and her husband did.
She sounds like a very strange lady.
No, she's really very nice. And you should have heard the way she reacted when I told her our story.
You told her our story? I mean, about us, about my problem?
Oh, no. I didn't go into any detail. I just told her that we were newlyweds and that this would be our first house. I guess that really appealed to her because she wants to see us. She wants to talk about the house.
It's silly. The woman wants $100,000 for the house, and we just don't have that kind of money.
Kirk, I know that it's probably a dream, but I really do want to talk to her about it. Look, if you don't want to go, fine. It's probably better if I go alone anyway.
Emily, please, try to be sensible. Think in terms of a small studio apartment.
Well, I don't feel like being sensible right now.
I want to wait until we're settled, Emily. Wait until we have money coming in.
The only problem with that is that if we wait, then we'll lose the house.
But there are other houses. And the mortgage rates have already started coming down, so there's
Yeah, but I know that there isn't another one like that. And I also know that you feel the same way. Just watching you when you walked into the place, the look on your face.
Yeah. There was something about that house that grabbed me.
There was a look in your eyes that I've never seen before. Kirk, don't you think that means something?
It means that the hamburgers are getting cold.
Okay. You can eat now. And afterwards, you can take a nap or watch TV. But I'm going to 123 Rivershore Drive and see Mrs. Scott in her penthouse.
Penthouse? She sounds like a very rich lady.
Mrs. Peabody said she had a lot of money. That's what I'm hoping for, that the money won't be the most important thing. Then we'll really have a chance. And won't it be wonderful, Kirk, living in that house? Then I'll know that our marriage will really have begun.
Silly little girl, what are you doing? You're not supposed to eat your dress. What are people going to say if they see you eating your dress? You know what? I would say you have about the busiest social life of any 4-month-old baby that I've ever seen. Poor little chubby cheeks, you keep real busy, don't you? Well, I hope you just know who all your little visitors are and keep them. There you go. Told you someone's here now. It's probably for you. Would you like to answer the phone? Oh, okay. Yes. Yes, Oscar. He's on his way up? Good. Yes, Oscar. Okay. Yep. Oh, you don't eat the phone, do you?
How are you?
Hello. Here we are.
How's my date? Miss America 2002. Huh?
We're both wonderful. Where's Nicole? Didn't she come with
Oh,
you?
I've been missing her all day long. Supposed to meet her at the station after I did hospital rounds. She'd gone to see the doctor.
What's the matter? Is she sick?
No. She thought she might be pregnant. She's not.
Oh.
She's getting very anxious about that.
Hey, come on. Well, I don't blame her. I certainly was excited when I found out I was pregnant.
She hasn't found out any such thing. And the more excited she gets about it, the less likely it is she'll find out anything.
Hey. Do I detect some negative thinking there? None of that. We were both in very good spirits before that phone rang.
Sorry. Didn't mean to break any mood. Good spirits due to anything, perhaps?
No, I didn't have a drink. But, I will tell you one of the reasons I'm in such a good mood. I happen to have 2 possible buyers for my house.
Really? That didn't take long, did it?
No, as a matter of fact, I'm expecting one of them to come in any minute. A woman by the name of Mrs. Michaels. They're a newlywed couple. It kind of appeals to me.
A family, eh? Well, speaking of family, let me take a little...
Okay.
Oh, my little niece.
Oh, she's beautiful, isn't she? I mean, I'm not just prejudiced. She is
Good kisser,
beautiful.
too. Getting prettier and prettier every single day. Yes. Adam's going to like to have a cousin like this.
Oh, I think Adam would appreciate a little brother or sister more, don't you? Oh, listen, speaking of babies, did you hear what Raven did with that letter? You know, the one about Jamie.
What made you think of that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Logan was here earlier, and, Miles, I'm afraid I may have ruined Logan's chances of ever getting Jamie back.
So Logan thinks that letter was Exhibit A, huh?
Oh, it certainly was. I mean, it was the evidence in black and white of how little Raven ever thought of Jamie and how willing she was just to give him away.
Well, it looks like Raven recognized how important it was.
I just wish I had recognized that Raven was up to her old deceptive tricks. Do you know, she actually had me convinced that she wanted to have a meeting with Logan to work out some sort of a compromise. Boy, now I realize it was all just a stall. That letter didn't go off the terrace by accident.
So what happens now?
Well, I don't know. I guess a custody trial will start soon.
She's going to an awful lot of trouble to keep a baby that she didn't want a little while ago. Does Logan have any idea why?
Not really. He just thinks she's being spiteful, that Raven is just trying to pay him back for his walking out on her.
He didn't walk out on her. Remember, I'm a chief witness as to what kind of wife she was.
That's right. You walked in on Raven with Elliot up at Palace Park, didn't you?
Palace Park, you just gave me an idea.
What kind of idea?
Oh, I've been trying to figure out some way to get Nicole away from that busy schedule of hers. Me, too. Weekend up at Palace Park might be good for both of us.
I think that's a terrific idea. You won't have to worry about Raven walking into people's rooms either. God, at least I hope not.
No, I doubt it. I have the feeling she's going to be very careful about her reputation, for a little while at least.
You gonna be good now? You gonna be good now, huh? How come the only thing you ever eat is chocolate? Okay. Now look. Jamie, I'm sorry, but I just don't have the time to spend all day with you. Do you understand? See, I have a life of my own to live. No, thank you. I don't want any chocolate. As hard as that is for you to believe. Just be quiet for a while. I gotta get ready.
I swear there is nothing more selfish than a little baby. Where the hell is that babysitter? I mean, why can't I hire someone that's here on time for a change? If that's not her, she's fired. Well, you are a very lucky young lady. Huh? If you would have come here 5 minutes later, you would have lost yourself a babysitting job. You are a half an hour late. You think I'm going to wait around here all night for you?
Oh, gee, Mrs. Swift, I'm sorry, but the bus was late.
What was your excuse yesterday?
I told you. My boyfriend gave me a lift, and we had a flat tire on the way.
I see. Tell me something. Was that the same boyfriend who was here last Friday?
Pardon?
Don't think you're fooling me, honey child. You can't kid a kidder. I know that your boyfriend was in here and the two of you had a great time drinking my liquor and necking on my couch.
That isn't true.
Your name is going to be mud if he ever comes in here again. You understand? The only boy I want in this house is Jamie. Do you understand? Do you understand me?
Yeah, all right.
Okay. Now I've got to call and see if I still have a date.
Yes? Oh, yes. Yes, put her on. Raven, you at the restaurant?
No, I haven't even left the house yet.
Well, that's okay anyway, because I've got a half hour's worth of work I can still do here at the office.
Oh, good. You forgive me then?
Oh, of course I forgive you. It's a woman's prerogative.
I can't believe it. I have finally found a man who understands that women have prerogatives. I really like you, Chief. You think, you could like me a little bit?
I think I could like you more than that. Goodbye, Raven.
Sorry for barging in on you, Chief.
No problem. No problem at all.
Well, I'm actually surprised that you're here today. I thought you were going to be leaving early.
Oh, yes, I was, but my date got pushed ahead a half an hour.
Oh, I see. Well, I saw Logan Swift today, and we went over the Pendleton case. He told me about it all, and I'm ready to follow it up.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. I think Steve would be glad to know you're working on that case.
You haven't heard from him, have you?
No. No, I don't expect anybody's going to hear from Steve for another 3 or 4 weeks. You know, when a cop goes undercover, he's got to stay undercover.
Yeah. He told me the same thing himself. Anyway, Logan thinks that we should push for an indictment with the material we've got. Then I told him I thought that maybe we should get a couple of more witnesses lined up just in case.
Well, he's the DA. It's his prerogative. I mean, I think he'll handle things well.
By the way, I guess you've already heard about the latest development in his case?
No. What are you talking about?
He's your friend. I'm sure he's told you.
Well, I know a little bit about what's going on in his life, but he doesn't talk about his personal problems often.
You mean he didn't tell you about the latest stunt that Raven pulled? You know, I honestly, sometimes I think that some kind of police action should be taken against that woman.
Police action? Why?
Because she destroyed personal property. Valuable property. Now, that's a crime, isn't it?
What did she destroy?
She destroyed a letter. It was the personal property of April Scott. She wrote this letter to April Scott, giving her total permission to raise Jamie as her own. And Raven thought that it would be disastrous if it came out in court, and I know it would. So that's why she got rid of it.
She got rid of it? A second ago, you said she destroyed it. What did she do with the letter?
She literally threw it off the terrace. Now, that's the same as wanton destruction of property, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
I'm telling you, Chief, she destroyed valuable evidence, even if the trial hasn't started yet.
Wait a minute. Is somebody bringing... Is April Scott bringing charges
No,
against her?
April isn't going to do something like that. Somebody should. Somebody ought to talk to Logan. You could, you know.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Talk to him about what?
You talked to him about doing something. He's letting this woman walk all over him. First of all, she steals the baby right out from under his nose, and next she destroys the most important evidence in this case yet.
I'm sure Logan has reasons for handling things the way he is.
Oh, you want me to tell you what his reasons are? He doesn't want to hurt anybody. He doesn't want April to get involved in another courtroom scene.
Deborah, I honestly don't know what I can do about it. I can't tell Logan how to think or how to feel. And as for his wife... Are you so sure she's acting maliciously? Now, this is her own son. In the eyes of the law, the only thing she's doing is recovering her own child.
You're not siding with her, are you?
Well, aren't you just siding against her?
Hello, gorgeous. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were talking to a policeman. Or should I say, police person.
I thought we were going to meet downstairs.
Well, I thought I would come up here and drag you away from your office. I thought you got awfully tired of looking at cops all the time.
Well, now, that station break should come in about 5 minutes. I think... Aren't you listening?
I'm sorry. I'm reading over this transcript. I'm reading the same section over and over and over.
Logan, please try not to worry so much about what's happened. It isn't the end of the world, you know. It doesn't mean you're going to lose this case. The letter couldn't make that much difference, especially now that you've proved paternity.
Just because I am Jamie's legal father, that doesn't guarantee that I'm going to get it back. The court still favors the mother in these situations.
But that attitude is changing.
In a handful of cases, very few really. They just happen to be getting the publicity now. You see them on television, you see them in the movies, but they're the exceptions, Geraldine. They're not the... I'm sorry, I do go on. That wasn't what you asked me, was it?
I just wanted you to take a look at a station break at WMON.
Oh.
We're trying something new.
Oh, really? What is it?
Well, you know about that young nephew of Nancy Carr's, the young man that's staying with him now.
I think Mike mentioned him.
He happens to be a very talented puppeteer. He auditioned for me last week, and I thought I'd give him a chance. If you can call a 30-second television appearance a chance. Would you turn that on, dear?
Surely.
More on that story on the 11 o'clock news. And now stay tuned for a WMON editorial.
Sort of a strange young man.
Hello there. I'm just trying to decide what to watch tonight at 9 o'clock. On this station, they're going to have Monticello movers and shakers. They're going to have the mayor on, and he's going to talk about the new tax cut. Well, I'm not going to watch that. I don't really care about tax cuts. After all, I'm a bird. Birds don't pay taxes. But if you pay
Yes, I think
taxes,
that has a lot of
maybe
appeal.
you want to
I
tune
really
in.
like that young man.
Yeah, that's right here.
It's a cute
on
idea, it
station
really is.
WMON
Definitely going to
at
appeal to
9
your younger
o'clock.
viewers. I know Jamie is
Now, what am I
mesmerized
going
by
to watch
puppets.
tonight? Maybe I'll watch Godzilla versus the IRS. That sounds pretty interesting.
Monticello. Why'd I come here? What's out there? I mean, nothing that means anything to me. Or does it?
Thank you, Oscar. Bye. Well, it appears that Mrs. Michaels is here, but she's alone. I guess her husband couldn't make
Well,
it.
that's why I got to go anyway.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry you can't stay. Listen, you drive safely.
I will.
Okay. Oh, Mrs. Michaels.
Mrs. Scott, how do you do?
How do you do? This is my brother, Dr. Kavanaugh. This is Mrs. Michaels. I'm afraid I forgot your first name.
It's Emily Michaels.
Nice to meet you. I'm sorry we don't have time to get acquainted, but I was just on my way out.
Yeah, excuse me a second. Say hi to
I
Nicole
will.
and tell her I'll talk to her later,
Okay,
okay?
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Give Em a kiss. Please, come on in.
Thank
Can
you.
I get you something to drink?
Oh, no, thank you.
Excuse me.
Oh, this apartment is just magnificent. I don't think I've ever been in a place like this before.
Oh, well, I know exactly how you feel. It's the same feeling I got the first time I walked in here. The apartment used to be my mother's. Sit down, please.
Thank you.
Relax.
I'm sorry if I seem a bit nervous. It's because I am.
Oh, don't be nervous. We're only going to talk about a house.
Oh, no. It's more than that. I can't explain to you how I feel about this place. I can't even explain to you how we found it.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, it was sort of mystical. I know that sounds silly, but it was as if there was something guiding my husband down those streets, right up to the house. And when he got inside, it was as if, well, he was stunned. As though he'd found a house he'd been searching for all his life.
Well, I can't tell you how glad I am to hear that, really. I never thought I'd find someone who'd like that house as much as I do, or did.
You know, we weren't even looking for a place. We were just there. And at that moment, I knew that we would never, ever find a house where we would be happier. Oh, Mrs. Scott, I want that house so badly.